Welcome to the 2024 ACC Women's Tip-Off. Happy to introduce the UNC Tar Heels to the stage. Head coach Courtney Banghart going into her 6th season. We next have Lexi Donarski, the grandma of the ACC now, and Alyssa Usby, and then Maria Gottdang. Welcome, ladies. Courtney, I guess we'll start with you. Just kind of give us an overview of the team right now, kind of what excites you about this upcoming season, beyond the fact that we're healthy.
Yeah, oh geez, that's big news. I think this is a really connected group. It's a very popular time to talk about those type of words, but it's not a word I would have always used. And this group is really connected with one another. We've got a healthy blend of experience with a lot of youthful talent. And most importantly, our experience really tangibly sheds that to their peer group in a really connected way. And we're healthy, yay, at least right now. Knock on everything you know. No, we've got some guys off of redshirt who we know will help us. We've got some young guys who we know will help us, and we know we've got some great experience here that we'll lean on all year.
It almost seems like your veterans have been with you, and they've got a lot of experience, but you've got a lot of youthful pieces that I think you're going to have to rely on. Can you talk about how you've had to blend the two groups?
Yeah, we also had 2 off the transfer portal who come in with a lot of experience, who've been just a really great add. They fit our needs. But with Renaya and India and these guys, there's a lot of basketball that's been played already in their careers for us. And then you bring Sierra Toomey off of her redshirt year, and then you bring in a really talented trio of freshmen that they really don't act like freshmen. I mean, it's been a really great adversity response group. Their skill sets are different from one another. The practices are uber competitive. I get to coach this team more than manage this team so far, which has been really fun.
As veterans, and we'll start with you, Lexi, do you understand that comment that Coach just made? She doesn't have to manage you guys. Did you always understand it, maybe as a younger player?
Yeah, I don't know, probably not, but this group really is special. The chemistry that we have on and off the court already this early in the season is truly special, and we're just excited to see that continue to grow throughout the year.
Alyssa, I've always kind of described your game as your Swiss Army knife because you do so many things to impact the game. Is there anything that now you've added going into your final season to your repertoire?
Yeah, going into my final season, just expanding my range and being able to comfortably shoot the 3 and also be able to make shots at the 3. And so that's just been a big part of my game, and I've also learned a lot of different moves and picked up a lot of things from my teammates because we have a really talented group, and we're constantly iron sharpens iron, and so we're constantly every practice working hard and making each other better in many different ways.
Maria, I want to ask you to speak on your head coach adversity last year, and I think what's really remarkable to me is the number of red shirts that UNC has, and players stay. That's not typical in this day and age anymore. Injury people leave, or not playing people leave. What is it about Courtney's leadership that makes people gravitate to this program and want to play for her?
Yeah, with CB, I think what you see is what you get. I think she's a very honest coach, and she's going to tell you what it is. And I think with the players that didn't get to play last year, they gelled really well with us as teammates, but also as a coach. She's a leader. She knows what she's talking about. She knows how to effectively coach. And even though we had a lot of injuries this past year, we still managed to get to the second round of the tournament. So I think with these new pieces and now that we're healthy, we're going to make it a lot farther.
Having everybody healthy, having the pieces that you have, style of play going to be similar to what we've seen, or is there anything new we should expect?
I'll take that, yeah.
You can with the players.
No, it's good. Yeah, this particular, each group has its own different vibe, and this group is much easier to score the ball than we've had a really tough time scoring in the past few years. And the ball's stuck at times, right? And so we're now playing off of closeouts better. These guys are playing in a lot more space because the ball's moving better. Alyssa's ability to shoot has allowed us to now expand our range. Same thing with Sierra's a great shooter from that spot as well. So there's just more space to operate. Lexi's doing more off the dribble. I think we have a good blend of last year because we were so injured. A lot was leaned on these guys, and they didn't perform over fatigue over the course of that last 6 weeks as much as they wanted. So they all really got in the gym and got better. So the experience pieces are better, but the offense will be very different. I think we'll still have a similar defensive toughness, but the offense will look very different. I know you guys are hoping that by the time you're experienced, you know the offense, but it's totally different this year. So we got a bunch of new guys.
DJ Wilkerson from 90.9. Used to be the Sports Nerd Podcast. I'm sorry. My question for you is, you have a great blend of offense, great blend of defense. You can rebound and block shots like no other. what part of your game do you feel like you still need to work on?
Mm-hmm. I think over the summer, something that I've definitely worked on is my shooting, my mid-range shooting, kind of like that pick and roll, pick and pop kind of action. So being able to make those shots and not just finish around the basket, but a little bit further out, and just working on that throughout the summer has been really effective, and I definitely think it's going to help me grow as a player.
Jeremy Granderson, ESPN Charlotte. Question for Alyssa. You said on a podcast before how you were the 5th pickup of your incoming freshman class and that you brought the class ranking down. But looking forward now, 5th year going in, what can you reflect on? How has your journey been? And can you just talk about how you've developed over this time?
Yeah, I think looking back to that, it's been a big trust the process kind of journey. But I attribute a lot of my successes to my teammates because they've taught me a lot of things that I didn't have, like the resources to learn from when I was in middle school and high school and trying to figure out what my basketball career would look like. And also just being a part of an incredible program that has coaches that are invested in my development. I've just been really fortunate to have, and I'm really blessed to be on this path and grateful for the opportunity, and especially this 5th year ahead.
Lexi, over the summer you went to and helped coach at the Davis camp. Can you talk about that experience? Talk about that experience in helping young women develop their game. It seems to be a passionate part of who you are as a person.
Yeah, I really enjoy running camps and training younger kids. We ran a camp in all of our hometown. We're all from La Crosse, Wisconsin, and we got a great turnout. We had a lot of fun, and we look forward to continuing to do that in the future.
Courtney, with the addition of the, sorry, didn't mean to startle you. With the addition of the 3 new teams to the ACC, is there anything that you and your staff did differently this off-season in preparation, or is it just?
Yeah, new teams, new people. I think we've been in that mid-pod for all 5 years. I got to play Virginia Tech in their best run in history twice or 3 times every year. We got to play NC State in one of their better runs twice a year. Got to play Virginia in their rebirth, and got to play Duke, right? Where everybody else maybe not playing those teams twice, right? So I am the proponent of, yay, welcome, Cal, Stanford, and SMU. I'm looking forward to playing everybody 1 time and our rival twice. I think that will be a better true champion in our league and less based on where you are located in terms of who your double round robin is. So I think we also expanded our national footprint, which I think is important in a basketball conference. We've added great academic institutions to the league. So, I think this is going to be, we haven't done anything strategically or tactically different because we're just adding more elite teams to an elite conference. Sir. Yeah, RL, you going?
Yeah, I want to ask you, what did Bianca and Sierra bring to the front court this season?
Yeah, they definitely add a lot. Sierra is definitely one of our post players, but she can also shoot the ball really well from the 3. So I think having a player that can do that at the 4 is really effective for the 5. And Blanca's like a good 5 post-up player, and she's going to be a really good freshman, I think, coming in. So she's been playing really well in practice, and I think she's been doing really well with adversity, and they're going to be really good this year.
Would it be easier to maneuver inside with those 2 additions?
I believe so, yes. I think they've gotten a lot better over the summer and since Blanca got here. And Sierra's been here for a year, so she's been working on defense, offense. So I think they're going to be really great.
Yeah, this one's for Courtney. Good to see you. You talked about, obviously, the offense. Kind of wanted to elaborate on that. You mentioned, maybe at times it was, a little stagnant, the ball stuck, things like that. How have you gone about, I guess, fortifying an identity on the offensive side with this new group? And how would you describe, I guess, the offensive identity of this year's team?
Yeah, well, it's funny. I've been head coach for almost 20 years, and we've had really good defensive teams. But Christy remembers that my teams can play offense, right? And so, what is being a little, if I'm being honest, for the last 6 weeks of the season, we had 5 posts all healthy, and we had 5 guards all not healthy, right? If you're going to play basketball without a position, it's a little bit easier to play with guards, right? And so our offense was really packed in. So we were relying on outside shooting. And we didn't have a ton of outside shooting outside Alexi, who was really blanketed. And so you could double in the post, all the things. And so when you're limited, it's really remarkable what their energy, grit, and defensive toughness brought them, right? Given all of that. But we just have a lot more space now. And the ball moves much more fluidly. right? And so now you're playing against closeouts or against shifting defense, not against a shell, right? And so our actions, we have more fluid actions, we can play with more freedom in space. And so our actions are very different, which you guys will see, but really it's what you're going to notice the most is the spacing and the movement of the ball is what you're probably going to notice the most.
Shelby Swanson with the Raleigh News and Observer. This one's for just any of the players. You guys touched on it earlier, but just some of the challenges of last season with all the injuries. What are the biggest takeaways, lessons that you guys took from that?
I think one of the biggest takeaways when you have a lot of teammates that go down with injury is how important those individuals still are to the whole. We've had a lot of those injured individuals be able to constantly pour into the girls that are playing at practice and in games and be able to point out things and just utilize their high basketball IQ in order to keep pushing the needle and pushing our team forward, although they can't be inside the lines.
Question for Lexi. You're known to be a great shooter, but a lot of those looks are coming off of catch and shoot opportunities. Also, wrapping coach into this too, you talked about having more spacing. How important is it to have people like Alyssa and Maria to be able to find you when you're trying to navigate off ball?
Yeah, it's very important. A lot of my looks last year were off of catch and shoot threes, and a lot of the times it was from either a post feed or an attack from these two right here. I would say something that we've been working on since, like what Coach was saying, that our spacing's a lot better, the floor is open, is working on me attacking more, coming off the dribble, and getting more variety of shots.
Yeah, and also, Maria's got more now 1v1 coverage, which we're forgetting that what she did last year being double teamed or kind of playing against SAG all year, and same with Alyssa being able to expand. I mean, now Alyssa can pop and shoot now, which she really was limited in last year, which again, so that crowd is easier for her to be doubled as well. And so not only is it going to be easier for Lexi to run off of actions and get looks, but her responsibility is also going to be to get other people looks with the dribble. Now that there's more space in which to do it.
Maria, Alyssa, Lexi, Coach Bangart, thank you very much. UNC, look out.
Go Heels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You had to wear your neutral